Well, I forgot to film the first part of this, but this is my little ficus cutting that I'm trying to make into kind of a clump style. And it was buried up until here, and now it's becoming quite a little taller. It looks kind of like a little stick figure. I would like to keep those roots and make them exposed roots if that's possible, and the little tuber potato root thing, and I think I'm gonna leave it on because I actually don't mind it that much. Like, I don't think it looks that bad, and this is just a very experimental little plant, so I'm gonna try to plant it kind of like this at an angle with exposed roots. And well, I just have one hand now, so I'm gonna pause the video and show you what I've done. Okay, I put a little stake on that to hold it up a little bit. I don't know if you can see very well, but I slightly exposed this root, and this other one, maybe I should reposition it. It's slightly exposed, and I don't know if they're gonna survive, but I think this is a nice upgrade. Put it in this terracotta pot that my turmeric was in, which died unfortunately. I don't really know why. I think the terracotta pot was probably not the best choice for that plant, but a ficus likes it a bit wet and moist, so, and the terracotta pot holds moisture very well. So yes, this is the upgrade for this plant. It's the day after I filmed the last video repotting the ficus, and as I mentioned before, I have a lot of repotting to do. So this one is due today. It's the coffee plant. I can probably repot one plant a day for quite a while. I ordered some new soil, and until that arrives I'll deal with the smaller ones, and then this is gonna get repotted. The Monstera, like basically almost everything is gonna get repotted. And this one I would like to grow a lot taller. It's not that small. It's probably about maybe 10 to 15 centimeters, but I can pull it out of the pot, and it's full of roots, as you can see here. And I found this pot. I'm kind of out of nice pots, but size wise I think this is a pretty good upgrade. It's quite deep as well, so that's what I'm gonna repot it in. This is what it looks like now. Think it's possible to bonsai this, but I'm just gonna cut the really long root and part of the tap root. I'm gonna reuse the old soil because it's still good, and also it has some springtails in it. And I'll see you when I cut the roots off. I did cut off a bit more than I was planning on, you know, it happens, but this is how I'm gonna pot it up now. And this is what it looks like now. It looks quite a bit bigger already. The leaves, something's a little bit wrong with it. I think I just overwatered it, seeing how moist the soil was, but it looks healthy enough. These leaves look kind of cool, but I don't think that's what they're supposed to look like. So I trimmed off quite a bit of the roots, so I hope it will take this well, and we'll see how it takes it in the last no, not in the last, in the next couple days. I repotted my ficus ginseng. As you can see, I chopped off a lot of stuff, but I'll keep the exaggerated root look because it's If I would chop this off and try to make this into a normal tree, as a lot of bonsai people do, this would take forever, and also I don't think, because of the graft, it would ever look very nice. So I hope it survives. I didn't really take off much of the roots because it almost only has the potato roots everywhere. And instead of developing this into a real looking tree, I'd much rather take a cutting in a couple weeks and plant those. Speaking of cuttings, I also tried to plant the roots that I took off. I don't know if this will work. They do have some fine roots on them, so it might. It's an experiment. The eucalyptus clump, unfortunately, is completely dead. That was in this place. And yes, I think I'll give it a while to recover. It was in the original soil still, and I hope it survives, and we'll see how it goes. I bought some cacti for quite cheap from a seller off eBay who grew these from seed. Ever since I saw Astrophytums for the first time, I really wanted one. They just look so, I don't know, very out of this world and very alien, but also, I don't know, I just love the look of them, and I really wanted one, so I tried to grow them from seed, which was even on video, and it says the 9th of October, and it's the middle of February now, so it's been more than, yeah, about 4.5 months, and there's no sign of germination at all, so I consider that failed. I don't know if they were too moist or too dry. I really know. Maybe it was because of the seeds. So I just bought some baby Astrophytums. This is not an Astrophytum. I really don't know the name of this, but it doesn't really matter. It looks cool. It looks like a pine cone kind of, and you know, these little cacti, there's always enough space for them. This is not really, I don't know, I don't really like the pot, but it had a nice size. So yes, this is what I'm gonna keep them in for now. It's the beginning of March now. I started repotting a couple weeks ago and then stopped again because I think it was a bit too early. Look at my ficus. It's still alive, but a lot of it died back, and I think it was a bit too early in the year. Apparently it makes a difference even when you're inside. So it's a bit later now and spring has sprung, so I'm gonna do something crazy now. I'm gonna take the tops all of these Dracaena marginatas, and because they have scale, and I guess one way to deal with that is just to take all of the foliage off. So I'm gonna do that, and once they started budding again, then I'll go ahead and repot them. I can't believe I've actually done this. My room is gonna look a lot less green now. Look at this, just a bunch of sticks in a pot now. Let me get up. They've been growing quite a bit actually, and quite strong. I can see this top part is a lot thicker than the bottom part, so I think they have definitely enough vigor to not die. I think they're gonna bud back fine, and I'm gonna cut my other Dracaena back too, and I'm probably gonna cut this one back as well because it kind of looks weird. I might cut it back here. And yeah, that's it for now. I'll give an update once it starts budding. My Christmas cactus is in full flower, even though it's the middle of March. But I was trying to pollinate the flowers. The other two I just pollinated with my finger, but I'm just using a little cotton swab to... Oh, it's kind of hard to hit while I film, but My goal is, well, first of all, it looks very beautiful. It's the only thing that I have that is that is not green right now. So I would like to get fruit. That would be really cool. I heard, well, I've done a little bit of research, not much, but it said it's quite unusual for these to get fruit. And of course the fruit have seeds in them, so I would love to get some seeds and grow a Christmas cactus from seed. Welcome to my plant tour of March 2023. Can't believe it's March already. Time seems to fly by quite quickly. Let me start off with the death and the misery. All the ficuses that are replanted already are struggling like a lot, or they're dead. The big ficus ginseng died. I don't know what it is. Like, these are supposed to be like really easy to take care of houseplants, and this is the second one I've killed. But conveniently I got another one from my mom for my birthday. This is the other one I repotted. I just watered it. Yeah, I think it's still kind of alive. There's still like the tiniest bit of green on there, but I don't really think it's gonna make it. But with some other cuttings, this cutting has scale, unfortunately. I should probably just remove it, honestly. It has rooted quite well, but it just has like a ton of scale on it. This one seems to be growing quite well. This is like the only one. This one has rooted too. Well, this one, well, I guess it has rooted. It does have a little bit of roots, so I'll leave it in. Well, for this one, the mother of millions, this weird leaf disease seems to, like, it had all of these weird leaf, I don't really know what it is. It's not really, like, it's not an insect. It might just be like a disease. The trunk looks kind of crusty too, but I removed all the old leaves, and the new ones don't seem to have it yet, and it's growing, so it seems healthy. My pomegranates, I have kind of given up on. Maybe they would have needed a cold period. They're still alive. This one has a new bud coming here, as you can see. And this one, well, it's also, I really don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe it's the soil. I really have no idea at all. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and nothing's happening. Oh, I forgot. My Dracaena cuttings, I cut off the tops because they also had I don't know if it was spider mites. It had some sort of pest, and then 3 of them just got moldy, and this is the only one that's not completely moldy. I don't know if it's gonna make it, but we'll see. My other pomegranate is growing very, very laggy, and it's not really thickening up. Yeah, and they're not really supposed to grow indoors. With my Astrophytum seeds, there's still absolutely nothing happening, and it's been almost half a year now. So I've got like infertile seeds, or I really don't think I did anything wrong. Like, I really wouldn't know what could have gone wrong. But now the bag is broken. So, but I've given up on them anyways. I like opened the bag, and then if I try closing it now, it just opens back up again. But it doesn't matter. I ordered some Astrophytums, which is like the go-to thing. If I can't grow it from seed, then I'll just order them. So I have them now, and it definitely would have been more nice to grow them from seed, but this is probably like 2 years old, and this one might be even older, so it just saved me a lot of time at the end of the day. My jades are all looking a little bit better. this one looked like it was dying, and I really didn't give a shit about it anymore because I was kind of annoyed by it. But it's growing again, and so is this one. This, we'll see if this comes out of dormancy or not. Like, it's a ginkgo, it's not supposed to be inside, but it was not an option for me to put it outside in the winter. My crown of thorns, I'll do some work on it soon. I haven't really done anything with it since I bought it, and it really needs some work done. I'm pretty sure these are all completely dead too. Like, they just went into dormancy once. These are Dioscorea elephantips, by the way. They're still like rooted in there, but well, they've been in dormancy for like a year or something like that. So I really don't think they're gonna come back. My coffee plants are like one of the only things on this table that are really thriving. They're looking really good. I need to repot them. I would like to put them all into individual pots. But I don't know where to put all of them. Maybe I can give some of them away or something. My mango, I mean, it kind of shot up, and then it didn't really do much of anything at all. It developed, well, this little seedling, this little shoot, and it also developed another one. But they all died because all the energy went into this main one. And yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's gonna grow more, but it hasn't done so since. But I think it's the same for avocados. They sometimes have like growth spurts, so we'll see. I mean, apart from this leaf, otherwise it's looking pretty healthy. I always hear that mangoes are quite hard to grow, and I had many attempts, and this is the longest surviving one so far. So I really hope it's gonna thrive. This one, it's looking nice. I like looking at it. It's not really, you know, yucca palms are not really grown and known to be fast growers, but I enjoy this plant a lot. It looks quite special. I could remove all of this dead wood, but I think that's not really a good idea, so I'll just leave it on. This ficus has bounced back nicely. I'll just let it grow a lot. I don't think I'm gonna prune it anytime soon. I might repot it, but I don't even know if that's necessary. These two I definitely could repot. This I could try planting over a rock, and this definitely needs, well, I've said this in the last videos. It was a stupid idea to plant it in this glass with no drainage, but it worked for now. The other yucca, I actually replanted. I'll show you that later. This yucca is also kind of growing, I guess, but it's, you know, it's not really doing much. It needs repotting too. Then my other cactus, I think it's growing, and this little one that I found in the trash, it's growing quite a bit actually. It's quite hard to notice obviously, but yeah. My ponytail palm really is filling the whole windowsill. Ignore the disgusting mold, there is some issue here. I tried fixing this before, but it came back. Just ignore that. I promise I'm not that disgusting. It's just an issue that this house has. Well, but I'm gonna repot this pretty soon. This is the pot that my ginseng ficus was in, and this soil is like new, and it's good soil, so I'm thinking about planting this one in. Or it could be anything else really, but for this one, it looks very nice. I really enjoy it. It could be repotted, but I only repotted it a year ago, so it doesn't really need it. These two also need repotting because they're not really, well, it's kind of trying to develop a new leaf, but it's already kind of, it already has a brown tip, and this one, it's just really not growing at all. Like, it didn't really get any new leaves since I bought it. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I think it needs different soil or something like that. Let's continue here actually. I cut this down again, which I wanted to do for quite a while. It had like a bend that I didn't think looked very nice, and I kept the top half as a cutting. We'll see if it works. I put some root hormone on it. I hope this is gonna grow back. This might take a while. The first time I cut it, it took months before it even started budding, and it's yeah, it seems to be a very, very slow grower, even compared to other Dracaenas. My Monstera, this leaf is not looking very good, but apart from that, it's looking fantastic. Look at the new leaves. It has, first of all, it's developing quite a lot of new leaves, and they look really nice. Look at this one, and this one looks amazing. I'm really excited for it to mature. Like, it's probably gonna look kind of like this. Like, it's just gonna be really nice, you know? And same thing here. I could repot it. It's in the original soil, but also I don't really think it's growing amazingly, so I don't really need to repot it, I guess. My Dracaena, I cut down. It's been a little while. There has been some dieback on this one, but it's not, well, it's kind of moldy up here, but apart from that, it doesn't, all of the other ones are doing fine, but there have not been any new shoots yet. I haven't seen any swelling buds. There, wait, let me get this on camera. There are some buds here. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but there are some buds here. It had spider mites as well, so I tried to get rid of that by just cutting off all the leaves, and also I wanted it to like kind of branch more. I really hope this works. I got this for super cheap, for like 12 bucks or something, and it really adds a nice element to the room to have a little bit of a taller plant. This one, I'm not too worried about it, because if it dies back, I'll just cut the whole thing off and I'll just have one stem. But we'll see how it develops. This shelf is exciting. Let's go to detail. My grapefruits are developing absolutely fantastic. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like almost 100% germination rate. Most of them have like more mature leaves. I need to look at the leaves as well. Can you see? They look really cool. They have a really special shape, and I need to, well, I think I'll leave them like this for a little bit to have them, to let them get some competition. Let the smaller ones wither away and die, and the weaker one, the stronger ones develop more. Same thing with my lychees. There are some definite winners here. And at some point I'm gonna take the tallest one out and replant it, but I think for the early stages of their lives, it's not that bad for them to get some competition. This is an absolute highlight. I kind of gave up on this. These are my Strelitzias that I planted, and one of them germinated. I don't actually know how long it took. Like, I would need to rewatch my own video. It took a long time, but at last I have been successful. My eucalyptus is actually doing quite well. It has a lot of brown leaves, but it's quite special. This leaf is completely dead, but it's still not coming off. Like, they have some really weird structure to them, but it looks quite nice, and I'm probably gonna put it outside at some point. As I said, I don't really have much outside space at all. These are cuttings that I took from my Dracaena and from my other ginseng ficus that I got from my mother. I put rooting hormone on both of them. We'll see if it works. It would be very nice. This jade is doing quite well. It's not growing fast, but it's a jade. This one is actually, for a jade, growing quite rapidly. Has some weird stuff on the leaves. I don't know what that is, but this is the one I grew from a leaf cutting. It's probably about, I'd say, maybe like 5 centimeters high or something, maybe a bit less. This eucalyptus looks completely different to this one, which is kind of weird, but same thing here. This leaf is not coming off, even though it's completely dead. But it's doing fine in this little tiny pot. My coffee plant, this one, the lower leaves are slowly dying off, but it's growing nicely. It's looking healthy up top. And I had some volunteers in the soil. I just realized all the calc deposit here. Well, these are, I'll just leave them in and see what they are. Maybe there's something cool. So yes, this one, my Scheffler, it's always the same deal with them. It's really strange. Like, it still looks fine. There's always some new growth that immediately starts dying back. This has been going on for a while now. I don't really know what causes it. Maybe because I pruned the roots, but that was so long ago that it should have been recovered at some point. But I mean, as long as it looks like this, I don't really mind, because it's very nice, I think. My rubber tree, it lost a couple of leaves, but it's growing quite nicely. The new leaves are quite small compared to the old ones. This is almost as big as my hand, whereas this is not even as big as my finger. So I think this could be something really cool when it develops more. My spider plant is getting lots of pups and maturing quite a bit. It's looking a bit, I don't know, not as full as I would like it to look, but it's fine. My marble queen pothos also took a long time to acclimate, and is still taken. It's still not looking perfectly healthy, but it is growing. This pothos does have a new leaf coming. So is my other one. The new one doesn't seem to have any marbling, but these ones do, which look at this leaf, it looks so beautiful. My non-variegated spider plant is getting some pups too. The top part died back for some reason, and it kind of like started to branch or something. It's nice. It has a very different structure to the other spider plants I have. Look at this one. It's very whippy. I don't think it looks very nice at the moment, but it probably will be at some point. My avocados, I think the big one is taking the energy from the small one, so I really need to repot this one. But it grew one new shoot after I cut it back, which is nice. But yeah, if you look at the leaves, I think this one is taking the energy, so I would like to keep both. So this is on schedule for repotting. This new plant that I got, the pot says crassula on it, but I've never seen a crassula like this, and I really doubt it's a crassula. Like, this definitely looks like an agave or like an aloe, probably more like an agave. Yeah, I don't really know what it is, but probably, well, I can't focus on it. It's probably not a crassula. Like, you cannot tell me this is a crassula. This ficus recovered quite well. I'm not really liking the structure too much. I think I need to, well, first of all, I'm gonna let it grow, but I need to do something with it if I want to bonsai it. I could repot it. I think the roots are coming through in the bottom, but I need to figure out what to do with it, because this structure here, it's not very nice at all, I think. My baobab finally went dormant in March, which is way too late, but it lost all its leaves, but I'm not worried. Like, it's normal for it to go dormant, and I'm not worried about it at all. It's looking quite healthy if you look at the stem. Look how thick this is. It's if it's gonna grow as much this year, then it's gonna be a proper tree in just like a very short time. My Christmas cactus, also way too late. It's the middle of March and it started flowering. These flowers are withering because I pollinated them by hand. I'm not gonna pollinate the other ones, I think, because usually I think the flowers on these can last quite some time. And, well, I would like them to do that. And next up, I repotted these, but I didn't film it. I just put this one in a bigger pot, which is the pot that my yuccas were in, and actually exposed a lot more of the stem. It was planted like up until here or something, and it's not. I still like there's probably a couple more centimeters underground here, so it's a lot taller now than it used to be. And my yucca, I put the one that I planted in a glass jar in the planting. It needs to establish, which is going to take some time, but I think it looks very nice. I'm planning to do something similar with some dracaenas, but I don't have that many dracaenas anymore because some of them got moldy. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all the updates that there are to give. I wanted to repot a lot more plants, but it didn't really get warm enough. And well, the first two I repotted died pretty much immediately afterwards. But now it's actually like about 16 degrees outside already, so it's definitely repotting season, and I'll start repotting a lot of plants very soon.